You had a feeling Minnesota was going to come out very energized. I didn't know they'd be that energized, and Denver sort of mailed it in. So we will have a Game 7. Does not mean Denver is guaranteed to win. I don't know what the line is this morning. J-Mac will chase that down. It's 4. I think I'd take Denver to win. But I think they'll roll. But I would say this. What it really shows is that anybody that can beat Denver by 45 points in a playoff game, a closeout playoff game, is a hell of a team. The Celtics' record against the East this year was 41-11, 8-2 in the playoffs. You know what the Celtics' record was against Denver, Minnesota, OKC? 2-4. They were 1-1 against the Lakers, who already got bounced. The Celtics are just a team out west. They're unbeatable. They're the greatest team on earth in the East. And the West remains the grown-up table, and the East the kids' table. And these Western teams are only getting better. Minnesota, once they get Ant, a great running mate, his Pippen, watch out. They're well coached, brilliantly constructed. Denver's not going backwards. OKC and all their draft capital and stars. Dallas, this trench warfare. And what you notice about good teams in the playoffs, Minnesota can win in Denver. Denver can win in Minnesota. I mean, Dallas has won a couple of games in OKC. OKC won in Dallas. The Indiana Pacers, they're not at home. They're done. 6 playoff games, 1-5 on the road, most blowout losses. They don't even look like they can compete. So if you go back to MJ's Bulls, the 6 titles, half were won on the road. If you go to the Warriors, 4 titles, 3 of 4 were won away from the Bay Area. So the better the team, the less reliant you are on fans and the home crowd. The Knicks, I'm sorry to say, are highly reliant on Madison Square Garden and the energy it provides. But when I'm watching this stuff last night, I'm like, tip of the cap to Minnesota. I mean, Jamal Murray's hands banged up. Mike Conley finally back. But in the West, if you're shorthanded, if Jamal Murray was just playing with a bad hand, you're in big trouble. Mike Conley's out, you're in big trouble. The Knicks are missing 4 of their top 8 players. They're probably going to win a Game 7 and go to the Eastern Conference Finals. They're missing a center, a power forward, OG. They're missing all their size. They're starting 4 guards. And because they're at home, they'll win. It's just a totally different sport. It's the SEC the last 20 years. You know, the Alabama-Georgia run, it was like you could find the 3rd or 4th best team, often an LSU. They would be better, sometimes significantly, than the champion of another conference. And so that's what it feels like. Tip of the cap to Minnesota. Jamal Murray had a bad hand, and that was enough to get torched by a great T-Wolves team. Really good roster. J-Mac and I earlier today, I'm not sure why we got into this, but he doesn't like Jared Goff. I do. He thinks Jared Goff and Tua, same guy. I don't. One has a history of injuries in college and professional. One doesn't. One is a number 1 pick, taller, I think a better arm that cuts through bad weather, a little better. But Jared Goff, it should be noted, does play better in a dome. Peyton Manning always did. 14 of the first 15 games for the Lions this year are indoors. Big advantage, Detroit. So Goff is a great indoor quarterback. 99 passer rating in a dome, 89 outside of it. It's like a greenhouse effect. His completion percentage in a dome is 67.5, 62 without it. He's not terrible without it. He is elite with it. He's a California kid, plays better with protection and indoors. Now, again, Peyton Manning, better indoor quarterback. So now, this is something I think about all the time. One of the reasons I never understood Mitch Trubisky to the Bears, forget the fact that they didn't see the greatness in Mahomes. Trubisky was a front leg thrower with a weak arm, and the ball died at 20, 25 yards. In Chicago, there's a reason Favre, Rodgers, and now Jordan Love are succeeding. They've all got whips. They all got good arms. In Buffalo, their 2 best quarterbacks all time, big, strong guys, Jim Kelly, Josh Allen. Pittsburgh, Terry Bradshaw, Big Ben. It matters. There were a lot of smaller quarterbacks, mobile guys in between Bradshaw and Big Ben. So if you look at Drew Brees, for example, his numbers are incredible. Drew Brees in a dome, 105 passer rating. Out of a dome, 92. So that's a Hall of Fame quarterback. So Goff with protection Goff, inside or good weather, is a different quarterback. Environment has to be considered. Now, you could say, Colin, what about Tua? No, Goff has a better arm than Tua, and Goff doesn't have that injury history. So of the many things I consider when you give the quarterback the bag, injury history. Has he shown the ability to get into shootouts? Can he win multiple ways? Can he win efficiently? Can he win in a shootout? Goff has proven he can win both. Has he won maybe with multiple teams? Goff won with McVay and now with Dan Campbell. Can he stay healthy? There's a lot of things I consider. Dak has had more injuries. Tua a little more in. That worries me. So Jared Goff, much to the chagrin of J-Mac, getting the bag. Tua, Jimmy Johnson said yesterday I'd pay him. I'm just not paying him when I'm paying Goff because of the injury history. And I think even to a greater degree, windy, cold weather with the elite. Now think about this now. The elite teams in the AFC, Kansas City, cold weather. Cincinnati, cold weather. Baltimore, cold weather. There's a lot of cold weather. Packers, cold weather. So to win in that's NFC. So in the AFC, to get through it, you're going to have to go through cold weather. Allen's young. Lamar's young. Mahomes young. In the NFC, it may be a dome. Do I have to not consider that? It may be through Detroit, dome. San Francisco, mild weather. So to me in the AFC, arm strength feels like it matters a lot. In the NFC, Rams, I think, are good. San Francisco's really good. Detroit indoors is really good. I think if I looked at the AFC, I'd think I got to go through Baltimore, Buffalo, and Kansas City for the next 8 years.
Hi, everybody. It's me, Uncle Colin. Subscribe here to get the latest from the herd, including exclusive behind-the-scenes videos and more, wherever you may be, however you may be watching. Thanks again for making us part of your day.